Say goodbye to appliances.
Hello, Appliances Online.
A very, very good afternoon from once again a sparkling Sydney Harbour for the 9th and final heat of the JJ Giltinan 18-foot skiff championships for 2024. The race to be decided and the title to be decided today. Only two boats can win, Yandu and Rag and Famish. And it'll be a race in two, that is for sure, and we'll drill down on that a bit later. Hello, I'm Peter Shipway, and good afternoon to you all. I know we've got a mass of people watching us, and we've got a mass of spectator boats out on the harbour in beautiful conditions. And to tell us all about it, a very good afternoon also to Andrew Buckland.
Thanks, Pete. Welcome, viewers, wherever you are. Sydney Harbour today, just in the grip of a weak gradient nor'easter with a little smear of sea breeze on the top, which appears to have disappeared. So, breeze quite soft and quite tricky, and hard to say what might happen today. We did see the sea breeze come to effect towards the end of the day yesterday, so maybe not dissimilar, not strengthening, just a rotation from nor'east, so perhaps 020 compass to around 04 something, but we're not expecting it to be windy, and a lot of the fleet with number 2 rigs in, which looks like the wrong rig to me.
Yes, well, I think the two combatants, Rag and Famish and Yandu, have both got small rigs on, but to tell us what's going to happen on this delightful course, good afternoon to Jimmy Bury.
Good afternoon, Pete. Yeah, today, nor'east course, they've got the flag 1 up, so starting down here near Clark Island, work our way up to the Beecher Buoy, around the Beecher Buoy, down round Shark Island, down to drop the spinnakers first time at Clark Island, work their way back up to the Beecher Buoy, set spinnakers straight back down to Clark Island, work their way up to the Beecher Buoy for the last time, run down around the Shark Island and finish off Clark Island.
Okay, thank you, Jimmy. Well, there's Rag and Famish, who they've won the last 2 races in convincing fashion. They're 2 points adrift of Yandu. And the news from the Andu camp is that John Winning Jr., Herman Winning, is not sailing. He's got a broken toe, and his place has been taken by a rather famous name in the world of sailing in Australia, Joel Beechel, son of Adam Beechel and grandson of Kenny Beechel, who's putting the championship ribbon on a bit later this afternoon. So, a bit earlier today, we spoke to one of the younger skippers who put in a very fine performance yesterday. That was the Lazarus boys, Tom Koenig, and this is what Tom had to say. Well, Tom, terrific performance yesterday, second after you've been recalled.
Yeah, we got lucky. It's pretty light on the start, and we were able to get clear pretty early, which, basically when you're in clean air and that sort of light breeze, it makes it easy to get to the front. So, yeah, we got quite lucky. We were able to sort of jibe round after being over on the start, and then just had our own lane on port. So, yeah, we got lucky.
The second half of the regatta has been very good for you. Had a misfortune on the second day, I think, didn't you?
Yeah, we were sitting in third in a really good spot, and we had a really bad first race as well, so we were really happy sitting in third, and we just thought, okay, boys, let's hold this. And then we just had a weird drop, ended up trawling the kite, capsizing, and then we broke something. So pretty disappointing second race, but we're glad we bounced back at the end. It's the last stage of the regatta, so yeah, that was good.
Well, the final race today looks like a bit more breeze today, but that rig that you had yesterday looks a big rig.
Yeah, it's a really big rig, and we're a bit sceptical to put it in because yesterday when we were rigging up, it was sort of looking marginal, big or little rig, and thankfully it was actually a lot lighter than what we sailed in was a lot lighter than what was forecasted, so the big rig was pretty key, yeah.
So where did you begin sailing? Where did it all begin for you?
My story's a bit different. My parents aren't sailors, but we moved over to Dubai when I was quite little, and in Dubai, overseas, is a really good sailing club, so I just naturally got into it for my parents going for a drink at the local sailing club. Yeah.
Right. Well, today, a bit more breeze, I say. Number 2 rig, do you think?
Yeah, we've just had a late last-minute change to go number 2, so yeah, it should be good. Good way to finish the regatta.
All right, well, 7th overall so far. Let's see if you can step up a few today. Good luck.
Yeah, thanks, Shippers. Cheers.
Well, there's the committee vessel off Double Bay, and the breeze is about 10 knots at best, I think, and certainly, looking at it, Andrew, it's big sail breeze at the moment.
Yeah, Pete, it's, you know, the product of the water hotness, 24 to 25 inside the harbour, and to some degree about just the structure of the wind overall. A couple of the boats with big rig. Jimmy and I have just been doing a little survey. So what have we got, Jimmy? 6th?
Marine Outlet, I think, is on there, and the Bloody Danes, mate.
So there you go, and got on of having a crack. Some, Pete, sort of, you know, tactical stuff going on here between the two.
Well, Tom, terrific
contenders.
performance yesterday, second after you've been recalled.
Probably the RAG would believe that they would be better downrange than in any given wind speed with a smaller rig than Yandu. But there will be more pressure on the left edge, but down here at the bottom market it is just 10 knots, and we think it might be 14 perhaps max, and that's, you know, 10's definitely big rig and 14 is the crossover really.
Yeah, 12 to 14.
Yeah.
Well, really, what has got to happen today? The advantage is slightly with Yandu. RAG has got to beat him to start with. That's the main thing, and he's got to put a few boats between he and their Yandu. If Yandu beats RAG today, well, the title belongs to Yandu. The boat has already won the state titles this year and the Australian titles, and can he own the Triple Crown? That's the question. We'll know in an hour and a half's time or so. We're still about 10 minutes away from a start. And
yeah, so, Pete, just to clarify that for the viewers, if indeed RAG and Famish place first and Yandu place third, not an implausible result, it would be resolved by a countback, and then, in fact, RAG and Famish would win, having more first places than Yandu.
Yes, that's correct. Tie is broken in first instance by the number of first places. If that's equal, then the number of second places, and so on and so forth. And boy, we've got some people watching today, so all our regulars are there. Hello to you. We've got Max Brittenden from Borogo Springs, California. Missouri, Paul Nahon's there. Ian Barnard's always there. John Humphreys from Gosford. Morpeth, Pete Faminga's back there. Graham Long's Perth. We've got old Grant Rollison, he's over in Perth somewhere. Bo Junk says go the RAG. Well, he's got a lot of supporters out here. And just on the crew weight, they're both, as we said, on second rigs. The RAG crew weight is 250 kilos, plays 267 kilos on the Yandu. So Yandu slightly heavier in crew weight. And there's the starting area, and beautiful conditions. And looking up the harbour, as you'd expect on such a glorious autumn afternoon, there's a lot of pleasure craft out. Not too many yachts, but right in the distance up at Watson's Bay. The Metropolitan Laser Championships are on. 105 entries in that fleet, and we saw them yesterday. I think they're trying to start the races a bit earlier today so they don't impede the 18s, but looking from Double Bay right up towards Watson's Bay, we can see them. There they are, 105 boats. Say hello to Lenny Burke, all the way from America, the man known as Have a Chat. Hello to you, Lenny. He's been watching all week, and great characters, sailed 80-footers, ocean racing vessels, and now residing in Florida in the United States, and he's been enjoying this coverage.
And a shout out to some of the people who usually watch offshore, in particular to Kim McDowell and his lovely wife here in Sydney today.
Yeah, there was a nice table at lunch at the 18-footers here at Double Bay. Former champions. There was Dave Porter was there. Kim McDowell, of course, with his brother Terry, won 50 years ago in Travelodge. Dave Porter was a former winner. And, of course, Kenny Beechel was there, a two-time winner of the JJs, and will be putting the ribbon aboard the champion skiff a bit later this afternoon. We say hello to Mark Jardine from the United Kingdom. He says he's getting up early to watch some of the racing, and very much wishing I was in Sydney again. Well, Mark, always welcome, and I hope you enjoy the coverage today.
And also listening somewhere in California, Pucktoon Shah. I hope you're well, mate. Beautiful day on Sydney Harbour.
So we had an unfortunate incident on Thursday. One of the New Zealand crew had an accident. He spoke to him this morning. He's okay. His foot's in a moon boot. He broke 5 bones in his foot or ankle or whatever. But that was Ollie Gilmore. And he is okay. So here we are. We've got just coming up to 7 minutes. The Royal Oak coming back, had a look upwind. And it's still not that windy, is it, Andrew? We've got the tide low at 3:30, so we've got about a little bit of an ebb for 3/4 of an hour, and then a high tide, reasonable high tide at 9:35. So there won't be much flow either way during this race.
Last and first hour of the tide. There appears to be a little more pressure on the left edge, but I don't think there's anything to write home to your mother about. It looks like it might be pretty much 12 knots.
Okay, well, before the start, we might just have a look at the point score of the minor who can get into the minor placings. Just remember that only 2 boats can win, Yandu and Rag and Famish, and there's the point score. Yandu leads by 2 points. Then Andu, the defending champion, with Joel Beechel sailing the boat today. Then Finport, Keegan York. Then our friends from New Zealand, ASCC 1 in 5th spot. Black Knight from Germany 6. Lazarus bounced up a little yesterday after the outstanding 2nd. Then the Queenslanders, Bigfoot in 8th position. Balmain, been there or thereabouts, in 9th. And then Marine Outlet. John Cooley rounds out the top 10, and Vycobi close in 11th position. So keep your nose clean at the start would be the way to go between Rag and Yandu. And I guess they've just really, Rag has got to go for it, haven't they? Absolutely.
Yeah, I think from a strategy standpoint, he might think that he can perhaps make sure that he starts in front of Yandu. I think they would imagine they would have the skill to do that. But after that, he's just got to try and win the race.
They've been eyeing each other off, as you can see here. Been watching them for the past 5 minutes. They haven't gone anywhere the other one hasn't gone.
Tied together by a bit of string.
Okay, well, there's the 5-minute hooter for the final heat. The champion to be decided today, and more often than not in the past few years we've known the champion by today. They've been so convincing after 8 heats, but today is different. We will not know the champion till this race concludes. It's a shootout between Yandu, Mika Lane, Fang Warren and Lewis Brake, and the Rag and Famish of Harry Price, Josh McKnight and Finn Rodowitz.
So, Pete, the breeze just turning right just that little bit, and as we kind of anticipated, looking like a bit of a replica of yesterday, but with 2 knots added to it. A little bit cooler, the air temperature now.
Hello to you, Kevin Purcell from Lake Conjola. There's the 4-minute hooter. Will Mackenzie Jr. checking in from Charleston, South Carolina. Go the Yandu. Brian Phillips back with us. Hello to you, Brian. John Humphreys, I think we mentioned you, John, from Gosford. Nicholas Livermore. Paul McNamara. Hello to you. Nice to meet you yesterday, Paul. Joy Brown, thank you for your nice compliments, Joy. I'm glad you've been enjoying it. It was good to see Rob here. Johnny Cooley back with us again for the coverage of the Marine Outlet, I'm sure. Graham Bennett all the way from Darwin. Hello to you, Graham. And Loffy from Adelaide. Well, Loffy wants you to know your tips, boys. Andrew?
About what in particular?
Well, who's going to win the race? Well, probably the championship. That's the question now, isn't it? With 2:50 to go.
Yeah.
Advantage is Yandu, there's no doubt about that. Rag's got to do the hard yards now. But we saw him yesterday and we saw him on Thursday. In the last 2 heats, he absolutely, the word I used yesterday was demolish the fleet. So it's possible. There's Yandu with 2:30 to go. What are we liking here, Andrew, on this start line?
No, the line's pretty good, pretty clever. I still think you have to get left, so, you know.
There's a great overhead there of Clark Island looking back to the starting line. You can see a lot of spectator boats out.
If in doubt, start at the pin, Pete. That's kind of a plan, but I mean, it's sort of a funny thing, isn't it? The fleet tends to over-respect the rights of the two contenders for the title. They tend to end up with some space on the line. Everybody trying to get out of the way and not cause any carnage.
Well, they wouldn't want to snafu on the line, that's for sure. And 2 spectator craft out here today, spectator ferries, a lot of spectator boats, because they know that this title is up for grabs. And on this long northeasterly course, breeze only about 10 knots maximum. Probably just a whisker more than we saw yesterday, but not much more. There's Yandu in the middle. All eyes will be on him. 1:30 to go. And where's the Rag? He's down to leeward. Right down towards the bottom. He's now tacked back onto port. Ooh.
Getting late to be doing that, boys.
Yeah, he's got a
120.
Try and find a hole to come back on starboard. 1:15. There's not many down that pin end. Yandu's the most boat down there along with Fisher Paykel. There's Jordan Gertis. Just running back on port. That's Andu with Joel Beechel steering. 1 minute to go in the final heat. Stand by wherever you're watching, Sydney, Australia, or around the world. We hope we're going to have an exciting race. There's Yandu prominent. Mick Lane looking to win his first title, as is Harry Price. Yandu looks solid there. He's got a reasonable position. Where's the Rag?
He's down.
He's down towards the leeward end.
Yeah.
What do we got? 25 seconds to go. Well advanced is the Aucklanders down there, ASCC 1. Okay, 14 seconds to go. Get a bit toey down towards the pin. Rags well advanced in the middle. Okay, here we go. 2-1 racing. Oh, I think there's going to be an individual here. One herder.
General recall.
Oh, it's a general.
Lazarus led them out, Pete.
General recall. Wow, anticlimax. Anticlimax number 1 already.
Fairly predictable, Peter, I would say.
Breeze a bit in the left, isn't it? Off the starting line.
Oh, you know, spits are right up here, but on this...
There's the 2 spectator ferries there.
This side, Pete, the bit where the Bradley's Head puff is affecting it is fairway left.
So looking at that start, be it a false start,
yeah.
Where would you start now, Andrew?
I think the same as I said before. I still think the lower third, 2/3 or lower 1/3. But downrange, it's tricky, isn't it?
Well, we'll do it all again shortly. I don't think we'll see a black flag for the second go. Maybe we will, I don't know, but I would doubt it. Maybe just get through the sequence again. I'm sure if there's a second general, that we'll see a black flag appear.
Yeah, I think they'll be, you know, the 2 leading boats in particular, be very keen to get off the line and
be clean and get out towards Bradley's and do their stuff.
Big premium on starting efficiently.
And clean and clear. They don't want to go to a protest room. We don't want title decided on that, that's for sure.
And kind of because of the spectator fleet, there's no escape route out to the right. You can't realistically start near the boat and tack on a port, even if you theoretically could. Just from a practical standpoint, it come with too much risk.
No, there's a lot of boats there just advanced of the committee boat. It's hard to get back right. Ferries are there.
They've got a few course marshal boats. You think that have one over here just to try and corral them back just to give them half a chance.
Okay, we're on delay. General recall, the first start. It's 2:47 local time, 2:47 p.m. in Sydney, Australia. And a glorious day on the harbour. Probably a lot of spectator craft out watching not only this but enjoying probably one of the last good weekends before autumn really takes over. There's the Royale, the ferry that I believe Kenny Beechel will be on and put the ribbon on from that ferry. Bobby Joy's there, I see. Bobby Tian, Steamer Stanley. A few experts there, Jimmy.
Wealth of knowledge over there, mate. If the Oracle's on board, being Steamer, it's, nothing will be wrong.
We got the flag the right way up today, so that's a good start for the Royale. Had it upside down last week. There's the second ferry. Oh, it's got light again here.
Yeah, it's going to be a tough day.
Could be a tough day on small rig.
Well, most of the fleet.
What did our friends in Lazarus do? I think they were going small when we interviewed Tom.
Yeah, I held the smart end of the mast,
right,
helping him while you're interviewing Tom.
Okay, there's the
6 minutes.
Flag is down and 6 minutes to go, so they would be, the Lazarus boys would probably be maybe ruining that decision, but who knows? There's sixth. They look as though they've got the big rig on, Jimmy, I think, haven't they?
Yeah, they've got the big rig on. 18-footers have got their big rig on, and Marine Outlet.
So one of those boats should be able to win, shouldn't they?
Well, that, and also if you're one of the either Yandu or Rag and Famish, you don't want to be starting with one of them
over the top of you.
Over the top or below you. You don't want to be anywhere near a big rig, really.
No.
Because, you point different heights and speeds and so forth, so, you don't want them to be affecting you. And also the Bloody Danes have a big rig.
So perhaps the sixth might be a choice out of that lot, but...
Okay, 5 flags again. We'll have another go at it for the second time.
So for the viewers, it is pretty warm in Sydney today. Land temperature around 30 C, and that's 80 F. And the water offshore 27, so Sydney's pretty sweaty little place at the present time. Water inside the harbour above 24 C, very pleasant.
Yeah, but not much wind here at the starting area. Definitely big sail right at the moment.
Yeah.
But not much you can do about it. If you've got your little sail on, you've got to tough it out.
Quite a good amount of pressure on the left edge though, Pete, so we'll see the fleet plugging that side, I think.
There's the Bloody Danes with a big rig in, and we saw Andu yesterday certainly roll the dice. That's Andu. Put the little rig on and fell from grace with a 13th position, which knocked the defending champion out of the series to win. He'll possibly fight between Andu and Finport for third overall, I think, but no, I think Andu will probably finish third. But there's the kitchen maker. At the moment, we've got Rag and Famish right down at the pin at Clark Island. You're coming back now on port off screen. There he is. There's the pin. So it looks like Harry Price may want to have an attack at that pin.
Well, the fleet has been tending to leave a big playground down there, haven't they? They've been ambling up towards the pin. And you can come in and be the pin-in boat if you really want to do that.
2 minutes 40 to go. Hello to David Grogan from Auckland, New Zealand. Robert Glover. Good to hear from you, Robert. Ward Brooks from dark and stormy Blue Point, New York.
Dark and stormy. A black night, Peter.
Yes.
Or a dark and stormy
Northern
night.
Thailand, Malcolm Robertson.
Just inside 2 minutes.
Julian Carroll, greetings from Ireland. Well, you'll be crying in your Guinness over there. You got beaten by England overnight in the Six Nations rugby. Can you believe that? England got up over Ireland. Okay. Righto, well, here we go. Yandu and Rag together. Down towards the pin with minute 20 to go. Rag's going to bail out.
And Pete, just a little build in the breeze local to the line.
Yes, it is.
Here.
Yes, good pressure coming down.
A little stream of slightly right-hand air.
Now, Yandu tacks under the lee bow of the Rag. Hello to the Pellies from Opossum Bay. Always back with us. A minute to go. Andu and Lazarus on port. He can match race old Harry's done a lot of it. Anyway, he's bailed out from Mika Lane there that was holding him up there. Yandu goes with him. Oh, look, here, Harry's come back on starboard. On the... Well, Harry's putting his match racing skills to work early with 30 seconds to go. And who's there mixing it up, as is Lazarus. We're concentrating on those boats at the moment. Oh, there's a bit of yelling here at the weather end with 20 seconds to go. Oh, it's Yandu and Rag well back behind the line. No chance of them being over at this stage, as whether it's a general recall again. What have we got? 4, 3, 2, 1. I think it's going to be a general again. We're away. Waiting for one hoot up. There'll be 2, I think. 2. We do it all again.
Gee, we needed that.
We do it all again. Now, the question will be black flag. A strong possibility, I would think.
They've got the black flag going up the...
Okay. Ooh. So no second chances with this flag going up. And the breeze is a little touch of more strength here, Andrew, isn't it? Just a little, maybe a knot or 2.
Yeah. 2, I'd say, Pete, easily.
With the second rig coming into play a little bit more.
Yep.
So the black flag means if they get away, you're over, you are automatically disqualified.
Our favourite yacht over there, Chits. Yep.
There's that ominous black flag flying. So I'm sure they'll all be aware of that. Certainly Yandu and Rag will be. They just cannot push it here. Got to be very conservative and careful at this starting line. They can't infringe boat to boat, and they cannot certainly break the start. Yeah, this breeze has increased, Andrew, in the last 10 minutes or so.
Yeah. Across the whole course, it appears to be the case. But Pete, guess what time of day it is now?
I'd guess at 2:57 p.m.
Something like that, yes. Predicted time of maximum wind speed is kind of now. Now let's just see what happens. It's kind of now in the expected range, and it's still big sail. But too late for any changes, obviously.
Just to answer a question about Yandu having an OCS in the series, well, half right and half wrong. They were recorded as OCS in Heat 3, but they went to the race committee, and the race committee agreed that they were incorrectly ruled an OCS, so they were recorded as a finisher, and they won that heat, so they're not carrying an OCS as such. So just to refresh, Yandu have had 3 wins, 2 seconds, 2 thirds and a fourth. The Rag has had 3 wins, a second, 2 thirds, a fourth and a seventh. 13 points with drop to Yandu, 15 with a drop to Rag and Famish. Okay, black flag, 5 minutes to go. 9th and final heat of this winnings championship, the JJ Giltinan Championship. Today's race partner is the Kitchen Maker, another long-term sponsor of the 18-footer fleet. And there they boys are in the distance. Kitchen Maker, Lachlan Steele, Jerome Watts and Ben Kirkby. Looking back towards Darling Point and some nice real estate there. So we're just coming into second rig range here, I would think, Andrew, just, aren't we?
Not really.
Maybe. Maybe at Bradley's.
Yeah, at Bradley's certainly, but on average, certainly not. I would suggest. That's irrelevant now, Pete.
Okay. 4 minutes under black flag for the third attempt to get them away. It looked at that start, Andrew, that Harry Price wanted a piece of Yandu there, didn't he? Just before the start.
Well, he's a good match racer. They're pretty confident about their positioning skills, and it doesn't. If he's half a boat length to advantage off the line, that's a race-winning amount of advantage. Is he thinking?
So will other boats come into play to put enough boats between the Rag and Yandu if Rag should get up in first or second? That's one of the equations.
Yeah.
If Yandu beats Rag, well, series done and dusted. There's the 2 boats. All eyes on them. So you would think everyone will be very well behaved under this black flag with 2.5 minutes to go.
Yeah, the alternative is not very good, is it?
No, it's not. Go home, get ready for the prize giving if you're over the start.
Yep.
What's the dress code for presentation tonight, Shibbo?
I believe you come as a zoo animal.
Zoo animal? There you go.
Or an animal, I guess.
Well, I guess it begs the question in a sense, what's not a zoo animal? You can't come as a whale, Pete. I know you were.
That's very clever, Andrew, for you. Aren't there whales in zoos? I suppose there are. Anyway.
No, there aren't.
But no whales out here. 150 to go. There's Andu, remembering Joel Beechel steering today in the place of Herman Winning. A lonely position up here at the pin with a minute and a half to go. A few boats starting to get down there. Fisher Piker looks as though he's on a big rig, Andrew. Lazarus on his second rig. Marine Outlet on big rig.
Yeah, Marine Outlet, not Fisher and Pikel, Pete.
You don't think so up here? No? Maybe not. Certainly Marine Outlet.
Marine Outlet, certainly.
And the Bloody Dames. Okay, minute. Just over a minute to go. Stand by. Rag and Famish and Yandu are way back.
Wow.
Okay. There's the big hollow in the line, as you'd expect. They're all being good boys and girls at the moment. All very well behaved. Andu got the pin down here with 35 seconds remaining. Breeze up about 11, 12 knots at maximum. The final heat just about to get underway. We're standing by. 25 seconds.
Pressing like in the middle.
A few boats on port. The Germans on port. Is Vykobi on port? Okay, he's doing okay here at the committee boat end. Oh, where are the two combatants? They're locked in there somewhere.
The Rag's just below
7
Finn Port, and
there's Yandu there, the Jimmy
Yandu's just below Balmain.
They're side by side, Peter.
Right, we're away. The Hoffel House going backwards at the starting line, but Sixth's got the jump at the committee boat end. Andu, the jump at the pin. And we're away. Final heat under black flag. A few boats tacking across already by Kobe. Someone got a bit wobbly on the start line. Who's that? The Victorians.
Victorians.
And the Hoffel House is still to cross the start line. Okay. Okay, there's Yandu. Got a very good start. Mika Lane. And
So I think
a little bit is the Rag.
the Rag got a little bit hung up with the Balmain.
Yeah, Rag is bailing out. Now, what does Yandu do?
He's just going to go.
I think he's going. He's got a good start.
Yeah.
Mika Lane, full marks to you at this early stages, but don't discount Harry Price. He's trying to get his air clear and going out on port. And that's what Lazarus did yesterday and really made a big jump after being recalled, but Harry Price was just a little bit boxed in there, so he's going out onto the right-hand side of the track. Yeah, doing clear air in the middle. The race is on to Bradley's. Breeze up. What a day we've got here on the harbour. There's spectator craft everywhere. Wonderful. Some of the great skiff sailing. 18-footers, Sydney Harbour, nor'easterly breeze. It can't be better. Just above Yandu's the Royal Oak. So Yandu leads, Pete. He's got to get across. He's got to get across Royal Oak. He'll go to Bradley's, I think. He's pretty high on Bradley's. In a perfect lay into the lighthouse. There's the ASCC1, Fisher Pikel. The Burrawang, well positioned. Marine Outlet, just in front of Marine Outlet, we'll see in a moment, is Andu, Joel Beechel. He got a terrific start down at the pin. He's won a multitude of junior titles in Optimus and various classes. It comes from a very famous Beechel family. Son of Adam, grandson of Kenny. There's the Black Knight, Smeg. And that is what they're aiming at, the Bradley's head. And look at Yandu already stepping out nicely. He'll come back. Will he clear the Royal Oak? That's the next question for him.
Yeah, I think he's got enough up his sleeve, Pete.
And Rag looks back a bit.
But he wouldn't be too bothered if he had to duck, would he? I mean, he's...
No. A few power boats around Bradley's, but I think Yandu is going to be clear. He's going to... Bit of rough water, but he's right in on the lighthouse. It's a terrific line he's got from the starting line, just where he'd want to be, I think. He'll bounce out there on port. A good crowd on Bradley's Head also watching. Great vantage spot. Okay, not far off the tack. There he goes. Let's see what he's got. Oh, he looks good.
Yeah.
He looks very good at the moment. There's some crowd there watching. A few more round the point also. HMA, the master of HMA Sydney, but okay, Yandu's got to take a stern or three here. Okay, takes the stern of Royal Oak.
Lazarus, the Black Knight.
And Black Knight, Smeg, I think. And there's Rag coming out on after he took that little hitch off the starting line. But Yandu leads Rag. That's the important equation at this stage. It's got lighter here after Bradley's Andrew for sure, isn't it? It's lucky to be 10. It's probably 9 knots.
So this should be interesting, Pete. The Rag is in touch surprisingly well, considering they started really in row B. So their speed probably is not in doubt that they'll be fast. And it's a long slog, this one.
Yeah, 3 long beats up to this Beetle boy. Smegger's very prominent early. Off camera, there's the Black Knight. I guess the hurt will come somewhat downwind with the small rig. We saw that yesterday to Andu. They were prominent at the weather mark the first time, and as the race went on, they just got further and further back. Very low tide here on the harbour. You can see a lot of rocks exposed on the eastern side of Bradley's Head, but there's Yandu. And to leeward of him, just going down past the beacon is Smeg. There's the two of them, Ragged Famish and Yandu, as Vykobi tacks off. Also on small rig. What's Finport? Are we on small rig there as well?
They're on small rig.
Okay.
Their big rig is quite big, Pete.
An ASCC one, they're on small too.
So just looking at that, Pete, the Rag is pretty fast to get to where they've got back to. But Yandu leads pretty easily. Well, of this group has gone left, there's a few that have gone right. Lazarus, Black Knight, and the Royal Oak have gone into Shark Island. So it's a big split already. These boats in smooth water, light air, in Taylor Bay. There's Andu handily placed, and there's Finport. Yeah, a bit challenging here now to stay in the breeze. Finport is probably second.
How about Andu up above them?
Andu's up there. She's very well positioned.
Yeah. I think dangerous in this bay where the leaders have come.
Well, what Yandu's doing is just watching. All he's got to do is watch Ragged Famish. He can't split from him. No, I mean, in case there's something happens and they split and Rag jags it, or vice versa. So, okay, yeah, there we go. Rag's tack,
yeah.
Yandu's tack. You'd expect that?
On cue.
Finport's tacked under Yandu.
Pete, just structurally more breeze in the middle of the river.
Yep.
And Andu leads.
Yep. So hard right has paid, or nearly hard right.
Well, the Black Knight's gone hard right, as has the Royal Oak. So they're very much prominent, those two. The Royal Oak could nearly lead, also the Black Knight. Oh, the Rag's taking stern after stern behind Fisher Paykel, behind the Danes.
And as you see there also, Pete, the Yandu having a duck Balmain.
Yeah, well, they don't really care, do they? I mean, it's the Rag that have got to get the job done and get up into first or second.
Yeah.
Yandu can just sail along middle of the fleet as long as he's got the Rag behind him. He can let these leaders go, and that's what he wants, really. Okay, Yandu taking a stern. Smooth water, tide just almost low water.
Yeah, if somebody doesn't put the plug back in soon, Pete, we'll be unearthing shipwrecks.
And it's very low, 0.1 of a metre low tide as we're watching the top New Zealand boys tack. Oh, Balmain's gone. Thanks very much, Balmain. Anyway, well within their rights. But it's Jacob Marks in the oak.
No, so the wind,
Alex,
quite different structurally to yesterday. A little bit of funnel down the middle and not much on either edge.
yeah, we're out ahead. There's not much breeze here, but we're having a look at the Royal Oak. What rig's he got in? Has he got a
Little rig.
little rig? What's their crew weight? We'll have a look at that.
Maybe 260, wouldn't they, Jimmy?
Bit less than that, you'd think.
No.
The Royal Oak, I can tell you officially, Andrew, you've been cheating. They're 260. First thing
I
you
was
got
going to
right all
say
series.
259, I was going to say.
It's the first thing you got right all series. Bucko, you're coming good towards the end.
No, the practice is good for us.
Marine outlet, big rig.
So they're not far out of it, as is the Black Knight.
Being ex-12 footer guys, not afraid of a little sandy either, right?
No, a bit of overpress is nice.
So no one protecting the left at the moment. They're all middle or right. And Yandu has extended on Rag and Famish. That's the news. People want to know. There's Lazarus, Tom Koenig, just ahead of Marine Outlet. And it's Andu doing very well over near Steel Point. Andu close to the lead with the Royal Oak. And breeze, a little white caps, but lucky to be 9 knots here in the middle of the harbour. Perfect sailing conditions. The lasers are still out and about, but I think they've all but finished. A few of them drifting back towards Double Bay, but there's our Black Knight friends from Bavaria. The Prince.
A nicely good bit of pressure coming in the right there, Pete. Probably 11 knots there.
Yeah, nice cool breeze coming into our studio here, our mobile studio, is Andu. Joel Beashel doing a good job. But the moment Yandu, which is up off the blinker at Nielsen Park, has Rag and Famish tucked well away. The Rag off screen, just tacked to go back into towards Nielsen Park
On a big left with pressure.
So Yandu, surprise, surprise, has tacked with him. He is not giving him a sniff, and nor we would expect him to. A lot up for grabs now.
Water very bumpy from the collection of powerboat.
You'll just see Yandu in a moment. There he is. And that's about 60 metres differential. It's still close enough if you're good enough.
Well, I mean, Pete, the Rag in one run yesterday took double that out of the fleet. So I'm not sure anybody could feel too comfortable, irregardless of leading by a little way. But let's just see. It's a tricky looking day. Breeze a fairway right on the right edge. Very bouncy water.
The Smeg going across front of Rag and Famish. It's Nathan McNamara, Jed Cruikshank and Jack Taylor. And there's the yellow blinker at Nielsen Park. So these two boats are alone out here on the right. Everyone else is going out to the left or headed that way. And a little bit tricky. A few of the lays have gone home. There's about 40 or 50 still out here racing. One of which is Chris Rodowitz, the father of Finn Rodowitz, the bowman in Rag and Famish. Rag's gone, and surprise, surprise, there goes Yandu. So coming out of the left, right off George's head will be Andu and the Royal Oak. There they are in the distance. So they're well ahead of Yandu. That won't worry Yandu. It will certainly worry Rag and Famish. And the Lazarus also having another good race. Not on screen, but in the top 4. So I think as far as the race goes, it'll be Royal Oak and Andu. And there's another boat right on George's head. Vykobi's up there somewhere. That's him. There's
Balmain's the other one, Pete.
And Vykobi. That's the 4. I think that pack will lead at the weather mark.
Just negotiating through that laser fleet felt like you're walking through a protest line.
Yes. Yeah. Big gathering of boats at the weather mark, as you'd expect at the Beechel Boy. Joel Beechel, the boy named after his great-grandfather, Alf Beechel, doing a fine job. Races are 16 up at Belmont these days. Raced in the national titles, I think. Jimmy Bunny, babe.
Yeah, he did. And we interviewed him down there, and such a lovely kid, very much, like the rest of the family, very softly spoken, comes across great. Like I know he's part of the Andu Team X program that Herman's got running, so which is good that Herman's got him under his wing.
There's tack on the starboard, but 3 boats coming in from way on the left, Vykobi, Royal Oak and Balmain. That's the view back down the course. So around the Beechel Buoy, then down to Shark Island. So the first of 3 beats almost completed in the final heat of this championship. And where is... That's Marine Outlet, I think, there. There's 3 of them coming in, and I think Balmain could lead. He's on a ley line here. It's going to be Andu, I think, will be behind him.
So it was Balmain that gave Rag and Famish trouble coming out of the starting blocks.
Okay, Henry Larkins, Finn Sprott, and Flynn Toomey. Great job, boys. Are they short?
No, they're long, Pete.
They're long. It's tight.
The body language, right?
Oh, good. But sorry, I forgot to look at that. Okay.
It's a squeezy lay, but I think they'll lay.
And the big overlays come from Vykobi charging in. So they're slow, Balmain. Vykobi very quick. Vykobi going to be second. Balmain just going to get there. There they go. They're around.
So that's their best first beat by so far this regard.
Kurt Mitchell driving hard in second. They're jiving off Balmain straight away. Andu.
Wow,
Balmain's in trouble. No, they're not. They've saved it. Andu going to just bear away set. No, they're jibing also. And then the Royal Oak. And look who's in 5th spot. Stand by. No, are they 5th or 6th? Doesn't really matter. They're 5th. Yandu, Michelane.
And if indeed the Rag can lay, they might get there in 8th.
Black Knight after Yandu. Then tacking at the mark is ASCC1.
Finport's 8th, sorry. The Rag might be 9th.
Take your shoes off for your counting, would you?
Okay, Keegan York in the Finport. He's around. He's jibing also. The New Zealanders are bearing away at the mark. Next will be the Rag. So Yandu has a significant lead after the first beat over Rag and Famish. That's all that really matters for the title. Oh, is the Rag going to lay here? He's tight.
His body language says he's laying. Peter.
Yes, he is. And around the outside goes Johnny Cooley in the Marine Outlet. The Rag gets in there. Lazarus.
I think he might be going for a jibe set, but
No, I think they just bear away. Yeah, there goes the rag into a jibe.
So they just set up with a shoot.
Okay, now Yandu's still going down on port jibe towards Nielsen Park. I think he'll jibe shortly. Yeah, Yandu in distance has jibe. Okay, C-Tech next around, then Smeg. Here comes the Burrowang. Stand by. Burrowang is around. There he goes. And here come the Danes. A little bit of an overlay here from these back markers. That's the big rig on the Danes. They should be quick, powerful downwind. Next around is Sixth.
Also struggling upwind with the big rig.
Big rig. Well, let's hope they can make some progress downwind. And around the outside of Emma and Shaw and Partners. Emma Rankin. Kitchen Maker on a tiny rig. Fisher Paykel on a tiny rig. Next to go round. And then, gee, I tell you, it's a long way back is the Queenslanders, the Bigfoot. They're just at the Western Channel pile. They must have had a misadventure. They'd be solidly last. I think there's Noakes. Beck Hancock.
I think Team Victoria might be.
Oh, is that one
last,
behind, is it?
They're further.
Yeah, okay. But anyway, they're a long way back. 18-footers around. Followed by ASCC2, Huffle House. Then probably Bigfoot. And Team Victoria are there. RAYC. They're there somewhere. Oh, UK 91 also. So they're the back markers.
All right, let's see if we can catch up to the back of the rag and see how they're progressing here.
So way in the distance, the leaders have all jibed now and are laying down to Shark Island. Good breeze, 10, 11 knots. Yandu's certainly prominent. Where's the rag in all of this?
Just behind Six from our position at the moment, Pete. You won't be able to see them.
So Yandu has really opened up here on the rag. Boy, oh boy, Yandu's doing to rag what rag did to the fleet yesterday. They're trying to wriggle their way into first place here, Yandu.
What's Shaw and Partners doing here?
They're going to have a look at Nielsen Park, I think.
They're going to hit the rock here.
You're going to hit the rock in there. How low the tide is.
Off camera, they're right in on Nielsen. But that's Yandu. Has he got himself into first spot here?
I think so, mate. I'm just waiting to get around Shaw and Partners and we're out of here.
They're on their way to Shark Island. He's not in the lead. He's close to the lead, Yandu.
Well, we don't know, Pete. Balmain was leading and they're on the low edge of the
yes. fleet. Yandu's up to windward of the fleet. He's got down in front of like Kobe.
And it will be quite dangerous to be too high going into the island.
Well, I think Yandu leads, no doubt about it.
Yeah, I think he's low enough.
He jugs it perfectly. It's going down the side of Shark Island. Boy, this is a winning move. The pack are chasing hard, but Yandu's in front. That's the news, I think, we've got. There it is, you can see from the overhead. Yandu leads. Kobe second, then Andu. Gee, Balmain fell away there. The Royal Oak a little above them with the green chute. Now it's getting a bit light.
I think the Balmain might end up third in the corner though, Pete. They're further leeward. And the breeze is pretty light in the bay here.
Yeah, Yandu now somewhat stopped. But they're looking, there's a couple of little puffs coming towards them. They'll miss the first one. You can just see that
second one.
How light it is. There's one just gone across their bow. Okay, just getting one now. The rest of the fleet's slowing down. It's good judgment from Yandu, but Vakobi's got the puff.
Yeah. And the Balmain is marching back towards them all.
Further to leeward, as you said, with the orange chute. Oh, just see Yandu just stop there.
Puff lull, your turn, our turn.
Bit like sailing up a Downwind.
Oh, it's the Downwind, Downwind, two places.
Well, here comes Yandu, who just rolled over the top of Vakobi, whose spinnaker's collapsed. Now Yandu's got a wriggle on. I think they'll go a fair way down on this jibe, won't they? To get away from the island and try and get some breeze.
A couple of obstacles, Peter, that one could note.
Yes, well, I don't know whether you'd call it a boat, but it floats.
A green one and a blue one.
Okay, Yandu's jibed off. There's a ferry coming. Now, Yandu jibes. The Doos have jibed. Vakobi's jibed early. Balmain's going to jibe early.
Oh, they're taking a big risk.
Balmain. Royal Oak's continuing on. I don't think that's a bad move.
I think you need to go as far as you can towards the blue boat, which is what Royal Oak's
done. But
the captain of this blue boat, 2 days in a row, he'd just be like, I can't go anywhere.
now, where's Rag and Famish? Well, he's got a bit of a wriggle on coming down. Now he's just gone light again.
Got a nice lay into the corner with Finport.
Yeah. And above them, well above them, as the New Zealanders went really high and would get a bit clobbered, I would think. Okay, there's Rag on the left with the black chute and the red writing. That's the jibe mark there, but most boats continuing on.
He's got about a 90-second deficit to make up before he can contemplate anything.
Okay, he's got some good pressure. Yandu hasn't got much.
And he'll be having a good look at the boats in front and going, I'm not going there.
Yeah, no, he's going to roll the dice now, Harry Price.
Yep, two little drives wouldn't hurt him. Okay. One around the corner and then one back to the leeward edge here, where we are at Royal Prince Edward.
Well, you can see Yandu really got a jump on Andu. Look at that. Really split away. Beautiful day on the harbour. Not much breeze here behind the Shark Island. It's always a bit of a barrier. Okay, all the fleet that are around the mark of jibe. The leader is Yandu. And where's that leeward mark, Jimmy? Have we got it deep again or not? Oh, no, okay.
Just on the left-hand side of Park Island there.
It was deep yesterday because of other marks, the Saturday sailing, but it's more in the traditional spot where Yandu's probably not laying it, but they've got nice pressure. More to come to them, I think, also. Well, there's Joel Beechel, Sebi Jarman and Sam Newton. They're rolling down nicely. That pressure's still to come, get to Yandu. Mick Lane just having a look behind. He'll be liking what he sees. And they're just going to come into even more pressure. The red chute right up high as Balmain, or the orange chute. So that you're colourblind today. Well, it looks red on the TV and orange when we look at Tangerine. Okay, are we looking at the champion? Well, they've still got a long way to go. 2 long beats, 2 runs. But they'll be pretty happy, good pressure. So they're above the lay line. So they've got 2 and in. The breeze is good here. It's 11, 12 knots. Yandu getting ready to jibe.
So a completed jibe and then a jibe drop. Or perhaps a jibe drop, very conservative if they do that. No, a completed jibe.
No. He's keeping the hammer down.
Yeah, I was going to say.
A jibe and drop.
Yeah. Well,
neither of the above. What would I know? Anyway.
Most wind we've seen for the so far. Getting ready to jibe.
Still only 12 knots, Pete.
Yeah, but it's good breeze. Come on, boys.
That's pretty tidy.
Yeah.
Something that they didn't quite judge exactly, but...
Fang's on the wire. Micker's on the wire.
You give it a pass, Mark. that's
Louis
for sure.
Brake tidying up.
Oh, yeah, I'd give it a 7.5, Jimmy, at least. But
And looking upwind, they like what they see with this breeze. A few more white caps. Here comes Andu. What a good performance this is from Joel Bichel.
And the Balmain up to third, Pete.
Balmain third. Well, they were prominent at the weather mark. They've jumped away, clearly in third. And where's the rag? That's the question.
They're just behind the ASCC.
Yeah, there they are. Well, there'll be a good minute and a half behind Yandu. There's Henry Larkins round the Balmain. There's the Oak and Vycobi. All these young skippers here on the Oak, Vycobi, Balmain, and certainly Andu with Joel Bichel. Okay, the Royal Oak.
Joel will have someone to have orange juice with tonight with off the Royal Oak.
Okay, they're around. Vycobi, hard at that exhaust pipe. Then the Black Knight. Black Knight have done a good job. They're currently in 6th position on the point score.
And 6th position in today's race.
Next will be Finport. 4th on points. Keegan York, Matt Stenter and Phil Marshall, they're around. Oh, and then the Rag and ASCC 1 next. The Rag has got a lot of work to do.
Yeah.
Rag looks like they've got a bit of a problem with their halyard, just getting sorted.
Okay, the Kiwis around now. Rag, then Marine Outlet, and then the Bloody Danes.
Stop the fight now from the Bloody Danes.
Yes. Jesper, Tobias and Sebastian. Okay, Marine Outlet around with a big rig.
Looking pretty cumbersome.
Yes. The Gundy boys and Johnny Cooley. And then after that, we've got
Well, the RAYC
RAYC.
having a blinder.
It's the team of Jack Fruin, Nathan Gullickson, and Luke Gladwell. Following them will be 6th.
So, but yeah, go to Richard Gladwell from Sarworld. So those boys on the RAYC, Pete, before this regatta, as I said, 10 races, so now they've got 19 races
Yes,
on board
well,
the boat. So
steep learning curve and they're doing
double
okay.
the amount of time.
The C-Tech, Fisher Paykel. And then next around will be following 6th C-Tech, Fisher Paykel, then Smeg, Shaw and Partners, Lazarus, 18-footers. And they're a long way back because the race leader, Yandu, is almost at Bradley's head. He's tacked away and gone, coming back, putting a big cover, you'd say. Got dead upwind the Rag and Famish. I mean, he's a long way away, but the cover is in play. He's just not giving him a sniff. The Shaw and Partners goes round. There's the Burrowing coming in with the blue chute. I think, no, it's Noakes. I'm sorry, Noakes. Lazarus in problem there, like he did last week with that in 3rd place. He had all sorts of trouble with his spinnaker.
Yeah, their halyard got caught around the top batten of their main sort and they couldn't get it down. It wedged itself in there.
You wouldn't believe it, would you? But anyway, they're the 2 combatants. And just to the left of them is Finport, but there's Yandu well in advance of the Rag. So Andu crosses Yandu. immaterial as far as Yandu's concerned.
He's just going to cruise around, Pete.
Just going to, whatever Rag and Famish does, he will mirror that. Breeze now about 8 or 9 knots, maybe 10 in the little puffs. Second of 3 beats underway. The final heat of this Winnings JJ Championship for 2024. The race partner is the kitchen maker. Nielsen Park fairway boy. Yandu and Rag attack in tandem. Just see a few white caps appearing, and we slack water at the moment. Just after low tide, but so really no influence except a big powerboat coming around the point at Bradley's Head. Our New Zealand friends. So Yandu in the foreground, being crossed by Andu, Balmain. The Royal Oak off camera went right early into Shark Island, and interesting to see how he pans out. We're on by Kobe, who are probably 3rd or 4th. There's Andu, the race leader. Young Joel Beachel would be learning some pretty good lessons from a very experienced crew in Sevi Jarvin and Sam Newton, both multiple winners of the JJ. What a great experience for Joel Beachel today in beautiful conditions. I'm sure there's a very proud grandfather on the ferry watching this.
Indeed. I mean, a staggering amount of experience between Seb and Sam.
There they go on the tack. Oh, needs some experience there.
I think the Seb might have had an experienced belly flop in the middle, but anyways, they got out of it. It's not one you get out of if it was blowing full blooded second side.
Perfect day to get out of it.
Yeah.
So Andu leads from Yandu. That steel point at Nielsen Park in the background. Andu's in the middle of the harbour.
Interesting cross with the ferry.
Yeah, there's going to be a big cross here. Watch it. There it is. Where did he come from?
Yeah, I think Yandu's gained a bit here,
yes,
but
he has.
by being in more wind. Little less wind where Andu went.
Okay, Yandu's bailed out.
Which tells you what the answer is. But they
and Yandu's bailed out.
Nobody wanted to cross the ferry board.
No.
The rally. So, Pete, looking upwind, which side would you go from here?
Well, It's a good question. It looks good on the left again at the moment.
It does, doesn't it? But game of Find the Wind, and it does look stable on the left.
Well, Rag, I think, has gone further back here, looking back down the course. Well, if you've just joined us, Herman winning, and obviously not at the helm of Andu. He's got a broken toe, which he's had for the last 3 races, so Joel Beechel steps into that role. I believe they were trying to get Lee Napton, but they couldn't find him last night. Did you hear that, Jimmy?
Lee returns all calls on Monday morning first thing. He's very prompt on a Monday morning to return all calls.
I know you're watching, and nice to see you in the midweek. So here's the cross between Balmain and Andu. So Balmain tacking short. They wouldn't have crossed there. Andu would have been across them. They're right in Chowder Bay. Andu coming up on starboard. She's in the middle of the harbour, between Clifton Gardens and Nielsen Park. And just looking back, the Rag is a long way back. The Rag fans, I'm sorry to tell you,
He's going hard right.
Well, now Yandu's let him wriggle away a little on course direction, but I think Yandu will... There's Yandu coming on starboard here. So the Doos are 1 and 2. Balmain would be 3rd. I don't know where Vicovey and Royal Oak 4th and 5th. Oh, Yandu just taking a big header here, down pressure. Oh, jeez. So Andu go for the dip. And really puffy here on the left.
And then a big bit of puff coming around the corner of George's head.
Best breeze of the day. I think that's what Mick Lane can see.
Yep.
Just getting into it now. And in the background, we'll see in a moment, when we get the long shot, is where, as we go to the bit further to the right, is the Vaucluse Amateur 12-foot Sailing Club, where Mika started sailing many years ago in Sabos. So, where a lot of these boys did. John Winning Senior and Junior, Sevi Jarvin. Oh.
The young Pete Shippo as well.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Pete, I find it difficult to conceive of you fitting into a Savo, but
I was 7, Bucko.
7? Okay, fair enough.
I wasn't 50. Okay, well, there's Yandu has negotiated the waves coming to the left and now tacking. He's got a few more waves to negotiate, 2 here. So Andu's gone into bottle and glass along with Balmain. Now Mika Lane, oh gee, I can tell you that Rag and Famish, he's just gone backwards at a great rate of knots. Compared to Yandu, he's a long way back.
Yeah, he's 3 minutes behind now, I would think. As a guess.
Still a lot can happen. Plenty of power boaters out here. There's other boats.
Yeah, no.
But he's really got to win or get second. So, and at the moment, he's a long way from it, Harry Price. Nonetheless, he's had a terrific regatta so far. 2 tremendous wins in the last 2 heats, but today, at the moment, is certainly not his day. There's Yandu lifting around the Western Channel pile. Camp Cove in the background. Yandu's got a big cross on Andu. So the left paid big time then.
Yeah, just a vein of pressure down the left-hand side of the course looking upwind. Quite a challenging day tactically.
Balmain behind Yandu. He'd be in third, I think, with Andu second. Yandu not on a lay line, it's short of it. It is a low tide rubber sound pitch. You can see a lot of those rocks exposed there that you don't often see. But that's what Yandu's seeing. Weather mark just up to his left. Clear harbour, good breeze, 9-10 knots, and the big run now back to Clark Island, down to the starting area. So 2 of the 3 beats almost completed for Yandu.
He's past half race time, if not distance, when he rounds the mark.
Into attack.
Not very windy up here at the top mark.
Geez, scooted away from Andu and Balmain.
Well, Pete, I think Andu might come back a bit to him because there is more pressure on the left here. So that might be a bit
not
deceptive.
far off attack. 3, 2, 1. There we go. Okay, they're set up on the lay line. Good, easy lay. Yeah, as you say, not much wind. What do we do here, Andrew? Jibe set. It was a good puff coming down to them behind where we are positioned at the weather mark.
Got to be a jibe set, I'm pretty sure.
They'll have a nice lead. What, 25, 30 seconds over Andu. Yandu's round. On his way. Oh, hang on to a Mika. No, just...
Well, you know, jibe set comes with some risk, and so just bear away and then have a think maybe. But
yeah, just got to keep it tidy now. And way in the distance, we see Rag and Famish still 2 or 3 minutes at least from the weather mark.
You know, the Yandu doesn't have to do anything; just got to stay upright, basically.
There's Rag there.
Rag. Yeah, he's got about three minutes to go to get to the top. 2 minutes, perhaps.
Okay, Andu, Joel Beechel, Sevi Jarvan, Sam Newton around.
So, Pete, you got an accurate crew weight for Andu for today?
Not with Joel there, but I'll work at it. I'll ring his father. So, with Herman winning, they were
290.
290, so...
Well, they'd be 260 now or something, wouldn't they?
Oh, no,
he's not that small.
Not that small. He's not 30 kilos less than Herman. I would say be 278.
270 something. All right.
Okay, the Balmain. Come on, boys. You've got to get that tangle out there. Henry, there you go. Clear third. And fourth will be Finport, I think.
No.
Is it Finport?
Royal Oak.
Royal Oak. Try the Royal Oak, Pete.
What about here? What's this bloke here?
Yeah.
Come on, Andrew.
Be
Stick
close.
with it. You're going so well, then. Here comes Finport. And Yandu's just jibing in off Nielsen Park, and we still don't have the Rag near the weather mark. Okay, so Finport is fourth.
That's about where they've been all series, isn't it, Pete? Really?
Yeah, and that's where they'll probably end up on the point score.
About fourth.
The Black Knight ducking in behind the Royal Oak.
About fifth.
Okay, Black Knight's around. Then the Royal Oak.
So the Rag is a bit trouble because they started the beat in touch with Finport.
And the top New Zealand outfit. Eli Leifting, Adam Mustel and Josh Shon. Good effort. Again, highly positioned in single figures. Then Kirk Mitchell, they drop back a little bit. And next will be probably Rag. Gee, how long they've been around now, the Yandu. He's almost halfway down the run.
240, Pete.
Now the good 3 minutes lead over
Yep.
Rag and Famish. It's all that really matters. Now, Well, the series is winding down, but it's certainly winding up for Yandu. They're holding a convincing monopoly over this point score at the moment. Oh, there's the difference in rigs. Look at that marine outlet with a big rig. Just shows you the difference. Rag and Famish just round the weather mark for the second time. The run back to Clark Island, then final beat of this championship awaits. A little dot in the distance, left-handed screen is Yandu. Just open up a big lead. There he is. Taylor Bay. Jibe short and then run down the side of Bradley's head. Black Knight, right of screen, then Finport. Balmain Andu, or Andu Balmain. Sun is shining on the harbour and certainly shining on the Yandu boys. They've got one hand firmly on the title, but they get the two hands till they cross that finishing line. But at the moment, things are looking pretty sweet for them. Nick Lane, Fang Warren and Lewis Brake.
Looks like Andu's setting up to
Jibe
go back, and so's Balmain.
Balmain has gone back off camera. There's Andu jibing.
Yandu driving back.
Yep,
Not much breeze where we are on the camera kit.
Attacking Bradley's, so hope to get a bit of compression around the point. Slightly wobbly looking jibe for all that, Pete. Well, they can have a few, can't they? Sit back and have a tea, Maria and milk, or a Aperol spritz, whatever they want, really.
Or a kumquat ale, maybe.
Yes, fresh kumquat ale. Is that alcoholic, Jimmy, do you think?
Oh, it'd have to be.
Well, all the idiots we see out here, kumquats, they've probably been drinking a lot. Oh, here's Balmain having a go at Andu. They've got good spiky wind.
I think that's what Yandu came back for.
Yeah. Whoa. Got a few bounces here. Got to get out of that.
Well, he's going into some risky territory.
Yes, he is. He's got to get out of this.
He's not careful.
There he goes, yeah. Good jibe on the Andu. There's Balmain trying to have a piece of the Andu. So we've got one more after this, one more windward, and then the leeward run to Shark Island, jibe, and then bound for home. Yandu leads the way and leads the championship point score at the moment. Wow, this boat's been quite superior this year, hasn't it, Andrew? State title, Australian title, and now looking very much so he's going to take the JJ Giltinan title.
Yep. No, they've been pretty good. But like we said at the sail again, it's the fastest boat, not necessarily the most reliably sailed, but the fastest boat. So they've got enough reliability for 4 wins, and that's enough. No, he's made a strong recovery, Mr. Winning, senior. Almost ended the stall gift for next year.
Well, he said he's going to sail again next year. Why wouldn't you, with the way this boat's going? He's had his hip operation. He's hobbling around the park. Less hobble each day, but he'll be pretty happy with this performance.
Bubbled around the golf course on Friday.
He did
just
indeed.
Putted, I believe.
A famous name on Sydney Harbour, the name Yandu, made famous by the late Sil Royu and John Winning Senior's father, Choco Winning, multiple Australian 12-foot skiff titles. Now, as Yandu approaches the leeward mark for the second time, one jibing in. Louis Brake's already in there. Things tied up. Fangs in. Okay. Fangs in.
And conservative thing would be the word, wouldn't it?
Well, why wouldn't you be? Spinning it down. They're about 3 or 4 boat lengths from the mark. Nice and tidy. Sheet on. Away they go for the last time. Up to Beechel Boy. Not much wind here again. Probably just lucky to be 10 knots. There's Andu, and he's got a bit of a chasing pack with Balmain and then Finport, the Black Knight. In the distance, the green chute of the Royal Oak.
And the Rag's still back where they were at the windward mark, so they've made no impression whatsoever.
Well, they are just off Bradley's head, the Rag and Famish.
Is there something wrong on board Yandu? Oh no, all back to normal. Sorry for the panic, people.
Gee, Jimmy, come on, Jimmy.
Well, there was someone come running into the boat to...
The Rag are really
something.
rolling the dice in the distance. They've gone way past Bradley's. I don't know what they're trying to achieve there, but we might see them in a moment. Trying to hit it in one, this leeward mark. Andu round, Balmain third. Finport's made up a bit of ground there, as have the Black Knight.
Wow, and pretty soft at the corner here, guys. Breeze down below 10 again, down at the bottom mark. So just look at the scorecard for the Balmain, Pete. They haven't been seen at the front of the fleet, have they? 6, 6, 15, 8, 9, 11, 8, 9.
Yeah, a few single figures there.
Yeah.
But closest they've been to the top at the moment. They're 9th on the ladder.
Cruise here, not 3 strings, not enough wind.
Someone's just asking, Shippo, was it a hip replacement for Woody, or what did he have there?
Yes. Hip replacement. One hip replacement.
Port side hip. So here's some good stuff by Kobe, Royal Oak, ASCC, and in the background, the Marine Outlet. And coming in from the other corner
Is the Royal Oak. He went right past Bradley's.
the Rag.
The Rag.
The Rag.
Not a bad lay though, Pete. So he's gained a little bit on the run, but not enough to make this.
No, he's got to get first or second, and He's just at the leeward mark with the crew under a bit of pressure, and Yandu is just short of Bradley's head, for those that know the harbour.
So that's a 3-minute sail, and that's what the margin looks like.
Okay, he's around now, and the breeze is up here, 10 knots. Lovely sailing conditions. And Andrew, just a minor correction for you. You won't mind, it was Woody's starboard hip, was it? Absolutely. That's his right hand one. Looking forward. Okay, there's a few boats coming in pretty hot here. There's the bloody Danes. There they go with a big rig. Barreling down. Who we got here, Jimmy? The
C-Tech.
C-Tech. I tell you
Big
what.
shout out to Brett Van Munster for getting that boat back together
indeed.
for him.
Well done, Brett. And I tell you who we only saw the first meet. Where's the top Queenslander? Bigfoot.
Bigfoot right here. Just in front of us.
Yes. He's obviously had a big breakdown somewhere along the line. So the final beat of the final heat of the 2024 Winnings JJ Giltinan Championship. We're going to see a new winner. Andu, the defending champion, couldn't get the job done. They were close at times. They won the second heat. They won the sixth heat. But in between they had a couple of wobbles. But the consistency of Yandu
There's your Bigfoot there, mate.
is paying off. And here's the Bigfoot. This will be a disappointing performance for these boys. Placed 8th going into this championship race, the final one. And they're well back. Here come the tail enders.
I think that's the 18-footers bar and
With a yellow
restaurant with
spinnaker, I
the
think
yellow
it is.
spinnaker by memory.
So you've got the main pinned in hard and going for it. What's the breeze here? The breeze is 11, maybe 12 knots now. Yeah, but plenty of spots in it. There's today's partner, the kitchen maker. Bradley's head disappearing in the distance behind them. The blue spinnaker is Noakes, then followed by ASCC 2 and the Burrowang. There's the Burrowang, SCC 2 with the white chute, and the red chute belongs to
The Huffle House.
The Huffle House. Go the Huffle House. Meanwhile, back in the race, it's Yandu lead still. He's just sailing his own race, keeping clean, keeping away from ferries, keeping away from spectator boats. There's the Huffle boys.
Etc.
Yeah,
So, Pete, just looking at the setup now, the Finport is slowly getting towards the leaders, though, isn't he?
He is, Keegan York. He's close to second now, isn't he?
Yep.
What a lovely day on the harbour. A few little white caps now, probably 11 or 12 knots for the final lap. And it looks like Yandu is victory bound. Looking up towards North Head. They're about halfway up the final beat. Balmain would be fourth now. Andu tight for second with Finport. Finport's been the big mover since the leeward mark. He's got himself back up into at least third. And that's been his best race so far. He had third in the first heat, Finport, behind Yandu and Andu. There's Vykobi, probably about sixth. Well, as we did yesterday, sat back and admired the performance of Rag and Famish. We're sitting back and admiring the performance of Yandu. Don't want to put too much glitter on it too early, but it has been a pretty good performance when all he really had to do was get in front of Rag, and he's certainly done that in spades. First beat a close cover, the second beat a loose cover. This third beat, well, do what you like. And the disappointment for Harry Price, I think. He was obviously hoping to be matching Yandu today, but it just has not been his day. Here we go, we've got the international flavour here. Germans on the right, Kiwis on the left. And the breeze is best we've seen all day here, Andrew. Steady anyway. Just in time. Yeah, Bill. Tide starting to come in. Oh, it's a good battle here by Kobe in the picture. Also, just take your stern of Kiwis. There's Finport up to windward. Andu's probably still second. There's Finport third. And we've got another boat in play up there. Who's it, our UK friends, is it, Jimmy?
UK friends. Look
Doing
like
a bit
they've
of
had a
wobbling
bit of a swim in Sydney Harbour.
Oh, well, there. Well, nice place to have a swim, that's for sure. Better than the Thames River, I'd say. A bit warmer, a bit cleaner.
Just slightly.
Yeah, and a bit cleaner. Lovely breeze now. There's Yandu leading the way, clearly ahead of Finport and Andu. Big split in the fleet. Balmain's gone right into Nielsen Park, Steel Point.
So was Vykobi as well.
Vykobi's over there, yes, Jimmy. So see how this plays out for them. But breeze just a good nor'easter now in direction. It's Andu in the middle of the stream, and Finport right in on Chowder Bay. Right in the middle in good pressure. That's Andu. Joel Beashall with Sevi, Jarvin and Sam Newton. I think probably Andu will still be second. Finport third. Balmain's done okay by going to the right, I think, or has he?
Came out even, I think, Pete.
Yeah.
Roughly. A little bit more wind coming for the last run, Peter.
Well, that's all right. No problem at all for
A little bit of
Yandu, boys. Yeah, Balmain's tacked short of Finport to get back onto port.
Back on the Finport.
Yeah.
Andu and Finport pretty close, though.
Andu probably looking for that little right-hander along the Nielsen Park bottom and glass shore. It's going to go right in there and try and get the right-hander up to the across Watson's Bay. Now up ahead, we'll see Yandu has tacked on to starboard. Best breeze here. We've got about 11, 12 knots, a few little white caps appearing. Tide changed about 3/4 of an hour ago to a big run in. Just expect a little bit of uplift in the breeze. And there's the Vaucluse Clubhouse in the background, where Mick Lane learned his trade many years ago. So they've got about 3 or 4 minutes to the weather mark for the final time, and there's the chasing pack, all rather academic at this stage, because Rag and Famish could not get himself in front of Yandu at any point in this race, and that's what he had to do before he could even begin to think about the title. He got away very well at the start and was really, the race was almost won there and then. He got an absolutely first-class start compared to the Rag and kept on keeping on. And how far is he to the ley line? Not far here. He'd do it pretty comfortably. No need to get tight on this ley line. Having a look at it now, I would think. There they go. In they go. Across they go. All but over, but they've still got 2 runs to go. 1 to Shark Island, then the victory run to the finish.
Don't speak too soon, Peter.
Well,
you've sunk a few this week, mate.
But it doesn't really matter. As long as Rag doesn't win, we'll finish second.
No,
so
you're right.
you'd need about 10 votes to fall over for that to happen. I really don't think that's going to happen.
I don't think Shippo's curse is that good.
No. I might curse a few, but certainly not that many. Okay, here comes the leader. Lewis Brake, Fang Warren and Mick Lane. Just nice, easy bear away set. Run into Nielsen, jibe out, jibe again. Shark Island, run to the finish. Get the ribbon. Easy, easy.
Drink the champagne.
There they go. Jib off. A little bit of breeze here. Oh, oof. Don't lose it now, Mika. He's got it.
The last nervous one.
What is this wave here?
This is from one of Shippo's mates, Waves.
Okay, here's the Balmain boys. They'll be third, I think. No, fourth. Okay, Finport's got himself, yes, into second. Balmain fourth, Andu third. And still about 3 or 4 minutes from the weather mark is the Rag and Famish. We're on the leader. Yandu. So Finport second, a minute behind. It's a pretty solid victory at the moment, or a lead. So a bit of a jib in it. Yesterday wind watch, Pete. The breeze now true northeast. It's the second place, Finport.
Comes a jibe on the Yandu.
And a big area of light wind in front of them. Okay, jumping on the wire now, away they go. Out in the middle of the harbour, then one more jibe and try and lay down to Shark Island, and job done, almost. So the rag's still about 30 or 40 seconds from the weather mark. And these boys down off Nielsen Park. Breeze up, best we've seen all day. 12 or 13 knots. Yep, just a little bill. Lovely day now. Lovely, good, happy under the second rig. But they might have been looking for a bit of pressure early, but not anymore. I think they're having a look at this now. There they go. Oh, first class. Absolutely beautiful jibe. The rag about 3:20 in arrears. 3 minutes 20 to the rag, and there's about 6 or 7 boats between Yandu and rag. So we're off to Shark Island. Make sure there's no power boats. There's one big one going around the island now. Let's hope these. There he is, you can see it. But hope he's clear by the time the Yandu arrives.
Just about coming up to this wake off this power boat, which doesn't look too bad for them.
It's not so much the wake he goes into, it's the wake he catches up with and goes down with. But anyway, through that one, and not much breeze here coming off the top of Steel Point area. Now they've got a bit.
They're not even looking at pointing it up at the moment, are they, Bucko? Just let it run.
Letting it run. No wind in front of them, you know. Big light spot. They're going to come into a soft spot in a minute, but at the moment they've got plenty. And here's the chasing peloton all in line, led by Finport, Andrew, Balmain. Breeze up for these boys. ASCC1 and by Kobe. So that's second, third, fourth, fifth and sixth. And that is number one. He's got about 80 metres to the jibe mark. He'll continue on a little. There's a powerboat conveniently anchored right at the... got people swimming around the... We think it's the infamous John O'Witty, is it? We'll see in a moment. We believe it's Herman winning. Having a swim at the jibe mark.
Having a paddle, more precisely, Peter.
A swim or a paddle.
Very light air
Very
here.
light air, yeah. Just having a look under the boom is Fang Warren.
Breeze down to about 6 knots there for a minute.
Okay, they're extending on now. There's
Herman having a swim.
That's what a broken toe does for you at the jibe mark. Well, here goes Yandu extending into Point Piper, going a fair way because it's quite light here under Shark Island. That's his jibe. So there's the trailing pack. They're a long way back. So we're on our way to home, and the 2024 champion is alongside us now. I'll call it now, I'll call it early, but I think I'm pretty safe. One man sitting in, just an easy run now. Now they get a bit of pressure. What a great way to finish with a win in the final heat to cement the championship for you. Saving one of the better performances of this series. This will give him his 4th win out of 9 races. He'll be dropping a 4th. Anyone would take that any day. Mika Lane, Louis Brake and Fang Warren. Oh, just heating up a little. And it's the trailing pack and still in light air. As is Yandu here, just coming out into a bit more pressure. So he's well above the ley line, so it'll be a jibe or 2 before he finishes. The Navy have come out to salute him as well. They might fire a cannon at him or something.
Warship Sydney, that one, Shippo.
There's Finport in 2nd spot. There's Kobe still running down. Black Knight, Balmain and Andu. But all eyes are on this boat. The 2024 JJ Giltinan champion. Yandu, Mika Lane, Fang Warren, Lewis Brake. Giving them their first championship. Mika's won the Australian before, but not this championship. It's the one everyone wants. And now he joins an illustrious group. The famous names of 18-foot skiff sailing who have won this famous title. He's got one more jibing in, or maybe 2, just above the ley line here. He's going into the spectator fleet. There he goes. Jibe done, one more to finish, we would think. It's a bit hard to cross this finishing line on this jibe, but here he goes. Stand by. He's over, he's done it. Well done, fantastic performance. Yandu is the champion for 2024. Mika Lane, the 43-year-old, the former Australian champion back in 2006, 2007, aboard Macquarie Real Estate. But so some 18 years later, he becomes JJ champion. Fang Warren, 34, began sailing in East Fremantle on Flying Ants at the age of 7. Then he sailed 29ers and 49ers. And Louis Brake began at the Royal Queensland Yacht Squadron in Sabos. Sailed aboard Celestial when they won the Hobart race just recently. He also raced 29ers and 49ers. And Mika began in Sabos at Vaucluse. He was been third in a JJ before. What worthy winners as we watch Finport. There's the boys, there's the winning team, but Finport just going across in second spot. So what a performance by Yandu.
Why did the Finport save their best till last, Pete?
Well, they did.
And Joel will be thrilled with that. Third on the Yandu.
Third on the Yandu, Joel Bichel. And Balmain having their best outing, a fourth. And the Black Knight in fifth. Chasing hard now. And then a fair gap after the Black Knight, I think. There's no one else coming for a little while, but let's reflect on this victory. As I said, they've won 4 of the 9 heats. Fourth is their worst performance. There's the Black Knight just going across. They will probably finish... They could finish in 5th spot overall because the... maybe 5th or 6th. Anyway, they'll certainly be in single figures. The fleet will now wait as the Premiership Championship ribbon will be hoisted aloft, presented by Kenny Bichel, a 2-time winner of the title. But now Mika Lane joins that famous crew of skippers. His ASCC 1, just ahead of Vycobi, ASCC 1 7th, Vycobi 6th, I'm sorry, Vycobi 7th. Another good performance by the New Zealand boys. They'll probably could easily finish 5th overall. Be very close with Black Knight, but certainly single-figure placings. Just next to us here on the camera cat is John Winning, the owner of Yandu.
I see Adrian Cahalan's on board as well.
And I saw Adrian earlier here today. So Balmain, 4th, there's Woody Winning. There's the champion, his boat, but with Mika Lane steering.
And the rag actually made up a bit in the last
Yes,
lap.
they did. They'll finish in
breeze.
8th position, just ahead of the Royal Oak Well. Well done, Harry Price, Finn Rodowitz, and Josh McKnight. 2nd overall. They're disappointed about today, but they should be very proud of their efforts throughout.
No, they made the contest.
You know, and 7th and 8th heats, they were fantastic. And they won 3 heats along with the 4 to Yandu.
Yeah. And, you know, as we kind of talked about before the contest started, Peter, the Yandu, the fastest, on average, the rag, the most accurately sailed boat. But not enough through the water speed. But bunch of issues there about sails and new ones, old ones, crew weight. Crew weight.
Well, it all came into play, but at the end of the day, it was a Yandu performance that will rank one of the great JJ performances. Just there's the spectator ferry. I'm sure they're looking for Kenny Bichel to put the ribbon on. So a triple crown, the state title, the Australian title, and now the JJ title. As I said, the names that Mika Lane and his crew will join, and looking back at past winners, you know, right from 1938, there's the 75th holding of this title, and every one of those skippers and crews that have won are certainly the legends of this sport. The Ian Murrays, the Dave Porters, the Terry McDells, the Michael Coxons, Lee Naptons, Sebi Jarvin certainly, John Winning Jr., John Winning Sr., Michael Walsh, Julian Bethwaite, Michael Spees, Bob Holmes, Don Barnett, Kenny Beashel, Cliffy Monkhouse, Benny Lexon, Bernie Skinner from New Zealand. You can go on and on and on. And now you can add Mick Lane to that list. Just hovering around now. I think that they'll wait for the most of the fleet to finish, and then they'll put the ribbon up. Well, Andrew, you've been aboard boats and hoisted the ribbon. It's a big thrill, isn't it?
It's a big thrill. It's actually quite a tricky job to get it up to the top without tangling it. It's a great way to finish the regatta where, and obviously back in the days there were umpires, but to have the ribbon presented on the water is a bit of a unique thing, but I think enjoyed by the spectators and the crews. And Pete, the problem in part is the lee of the ferry. You've got to go into the lee of the ferry to get the ribbon.
It's the hardest part of the week, right?
Well, you wouldn't go there voluntarily, would you?
Kenny Beashel, the two-time champion, also Australian skiff champion. His grandson sailed Andu superbly today in place of Herman winning. Kenny won in 63 and 68.
I wonder how long it'll be before Joel's name is on the trophy. Traditionally, they get a ribbon and a bottle of champagne.
Well, that'll go to waste, I would think.
Probably a fair bit of it on Micka's head, I would say. But, no.
So there they are as we're watching a few more finish. Sea-Tech, then the Smeg, then the Bigfoot. Shaw and Partners, Fisher Paykel, and then Lazarus. So Sea-Tech, I think, is probably about 12th, 13th. Smeg, then Bigfoot, followed by Shaw and Partners. They're finishing thick and fast, but all eyes are on this boat. The 2024 champion. Just coming down round the side of the ferry.
Yeah, the ferry. The rubber boat there is a big fender.
I think I see Kenny Beashel there in the doorway of the ferry. He's got the ribbon in his hand.
In a fashion ensemble, Peter. A yellow shirt and a grey hat.
He's always been a fashion statement. Oh, again, he's got to slow down. This is the tricky part. Whoops. Okay.
No, they did pretty well there.
They did.
I've seen it done worse. I've done it worse.
There's Adam Beashel with his father, Ken. There's Adam walking on the... See, there's Adam going across, congratulating the crew. I'm sure on behalf of his father and very proud of his son. They've got the ribbon now, they've got to pull it up. That's the... Don't forget to tie it on. There's Kenny in the doorway of the ferry. Okay, there's the overhead. Congratulations all round.
Good stuff.
Couple of cold beers. There's Kenny there and the hat. Giving us a thumbs up. Wonderful performance. To win the final heat when they really had to perform, they couldn't afford to wobble. They certainly didn't wobble. They won the race, won the championship.
And Micka says he's going to retire after this, so...
Micka, yes.
Here goes the ribbon going up the rig.
Yeah. Better get aboard, Fang. No, it's almost free. It's a long ribbon.
They just need a bit of apparent wind and get around the outside of the trapeze wires. They'll be right. God, it's a beauty, isn't it?
There's plenty of length in it. Yeah, need some wind to blow it off the top of the mast. There it goes, there it goes. Yep. Leaving the ferry now. It's a great shot. Ribbon streaming from the masthead of the 2024 champion.
Well, there's nothing that Louis Brake can't do, eh? Got the ribbon up clean.
Yes, that's a good effort. I'm sure that was the least of his worries, but he's got the job done. Just going past the second spectator ferry. Well, the two combatants going back to the beach together. Just alongside them is Rag and Famish, disappointed. Notwithstanding a very good series for them. Just wasn't their day today, the Rag boys, but certainly was these boys' day. Over here, boys. Fleet all now, all but finished. Just a couple of the stragglers coming across. I think Huffelhaus might be the last to cross.
The mighty Huffelhaus.
Louis, Fang and Mika.
I think it wasn't champagne, indeed.
No, just a nice blizzardly cold Heineken or something. I'm sure
Peroni, I think.
Peroni, okay. I'm sure there'll be a few more of those tonight when they dress up as zoo animals for the presentation. And then by tradition, I think the sheet hand runs sort of semi-clothed or unclothed through the club at the end of the evening, don't they? Is that the procedure? Or tradition?
I think that piece of nonsense might have died out, Peter.
Well, it didn't last year, they certainly did.
Talking about a new high-class outfit here, mate.
Well, that's a lovely scene now as the series has finished. 9 very exciting races. It sees today's result: Yandu, Finport, Andu with Joel Beashel steering, Balmain 4, Black Knight 5, ASCC 1, 6, Lycobi 7, Rag 8, Royal Oak 9 and Marine Outlet 10. And then after that we, I think the Danes and then SeaTech, Smeg, Bigfoot, Shaw and Partners. But all eyes were certainly on that boat there, Yandu, winning the title in convincing fashion in the end. Had to do the job today. He got the job done. So, Andrew, just give us your thoughts on the 9 races over the past 8 days or so.
Well, obviously there's some pretty special class racing. You know, 3 boats won races: Andu, Rag and Famish and Yandu. Boats that were dominant. Occasionally, Rag and Famish had the biggest wins in terms of minutes. But obviously Yandu won the title with probably better boat speed and pretty pretty good tactics and handling. Reagan Famish, a very honest second place, and some green shoots, some fantastic sailing from those guys though in tough conditions, and their ability to escape downwind sometimes is unparalleled. One thing we didn't have in the championship was any great amount of wind, and I guess that's a byproduct of the late season and just the effect, the autumnal weather effects. A couple of the boats didn't fire early, and we've got to put Finport and some extent Lazarus in that category. Finport saved their best till last, second place in the last race, where previously they had 13, 5, 11, 4, 4, etc. I think perhaps for the class, Pete, a bit of worry that the three top boats clearly are cut above the rest of them, and indeed some of the younger crews like Balmain also had a good last race, but mostly in and around 6th to 10th on average. Vycobi similarly, a couple of erratic days. So for the middle part of the fleet, there's still plenty of work to be done to get close to the consistency, speed, tactics and handling exhibited by the top three boats. But a great regatta and some very fine sailing, and it's been a privilege to bring it to help the Sail Media guys and to be on the Blue Catamaran. It's been a wonderful week. I'd like to thank everybody for their support and positive feedback, and we look forward to seeing you next time the skiffs go round. Signing out, Pete, your go.
All right, Jimmy, we'll give a wrap up from you. I mean, you've done leading this team, the Sail Media team. We're in front of camera, but there's a lot of work that goes on behind camera, as you know better than anyone, and you've got to drive this boat as well and try and keep us safe, which you've done magnificently throughout. Just give us your final rundown on the series.
Pete, I'm just really impressed with the international guys that come out and have got better and better. I think the young guys on ASCC 1, I believe they're getting a new boat underneath them, so they'll be a right challenge for next year. The Black Knight, incredible as always. We've got something going on here on the Andu, cast of thousands. So, but it's great to see the younger crews coming through and having moments of brilliance, and I think that's they just keep the consistency going. Tom Kunich there on Lazarus, like if they had been given the keys to that Ferrari earlier, that would have, where they would have finished up. There's the guys from Queensland. I think it's awesome to see that they've got a boat that's capable of being competitive. All our guys on here, thanks heaps for turning up and putting in the hard yards and bringing these pictures to everyone around the world. The comments that have been left online, both on Facebook and YouTube, for the coverage that the guys work their rings out to get the shots for you, and Piers, Dylan, Sammy and Rob that helped out a few days, but in particular Chits that puts in mountains and mountains of hours behind the scenes to bring all the graphics and the bits and pieces and make sure that that us monkeys on board here actually do what we get told to do, and we pull our finger out and get the cameras right and all the gear's working all the time. So thanks to my team and thanks to Bucko and Shippo, thank you for your expertise and your professionalism that you bring to this stream that we do for the 18s.
Well, thank you, Jimmy, and just a final wrap up. I've got to give a cheerio out to my daughter, or else she won't speak to me. So, hello, Grace. You make sure you're a good girl. So there you go. But just in finishing, I think I was thrilled for the class. I thought it did very well. The racing was extremely close, very exciting. Yandu, a worthy winner. Rag and Famish pushed them hard, but in the end, Yandu just a little too good. And I'd just like to echo your comments, Jimmy, about the boys behind the scene. Dylan with the drone was fantastic. Piers, Sam and Chits, of course, that did all the technical mixing, and it was great. And I think everyone that watched and the comments we got just showed how happy everyone was with the coverage we gave you, and we hope we can continue, and I think we're going to continue next Sunday, aren't we? We've got the final race of the series.
Yeah, we've got the Queen of the Harbour.
Queen of the Harbour. Well, we'll be back for that. I assume we'll be here if we can get through our hangover from tonight, if we're going to the presentation dressed as an animal, but we'll try to be back. So we say farewell from the harbour for 2024 JJ Giltinans. Congratulations to Yandu, to Mika Lane, Louis Brake and Fang Warren. Worthy champions, as I said. They join illustrious crews now that have won this title. So on behalf of all the team here at Sale Media, we thank everyone for watching throughout the series and all your comments. It's been very much appreciated. Peter Shipway signing off, and look forward to your company next week and certainly next year. Good afternoon to you all.